Each segment is a different size and weight, and as a result, each lift has a different center of gravity. So to solve this problem, a customized lifting frame was built to attach to the crane that can easily adjust to accommodate the different segments.
So this big yellow steel apparatus that I'm walking on right now is the lifting frame, and it's this thing that connects to the bridge segment and picks it up and puts it in place. But the goal now is to attach this whole lifting frame to the left coast lifter. To do that, we're going to use these 4 massive shackles behind me and connect them to these 4 pad eyes in the 4 corners of the lifting frame. Okay, there we go.
Each shackle weighs as much as a Volkswagen Beetle.
You're gonna get killed by a shackle.
All right, Ryan, coming down.
They're so heavy, the team uses a separate crane to lift them over to the pad eyes.
Boom up, hold your load.
Okay, it's coming in. All right, up and over. God, look at that thing. It almost looks like a joke shackle, like a paper mache shackle. It's so big. Like you went to a store and there was like a shackle holiday and they made this.
All right, boom down, hold your load.
Oh, there it is, the pin. Give me a push. Nice.
Get that come along hooked up.
The crew then uses a hand-operated winch called a come-along to pull the shackle towards the pad eye.
So, as I advance the come along, the shackle is getting closer.
On the work, right?
Killing me here. You okay, Carlos?
I'm good. Keep going.
You're not tired, right?
No, I'm tired of looking at you. We can get you a 24-hour membership.
Yeah, wouldn't want to inconvenience you, buddy.
Get ugly with it, Danny. Get ugly with it.
Give me a push.
To get the pin back through, the nearly 1-ton shackle needs to line up within 1/8 of an inch of the pad eye.
How we doing?
We're getting close. You're almost there, looking good.
Right there, it's right there, right there, right there. You got it?
Yeah!
Very nice. Look at that. 4th shackle, nuts being screwed on, which means this lifting frame, all 200 plus tons of it, is ready to go for the 1,000 metric ton lift.
With the frame securely attached, the left coast lifter can now raise it 100 feet, clearing the way for a barge to float the bridge segment in beneath it.
Piece is coming
There
right
it is
in
right there. There's the piece. Man, that is large. Wow.
This segment will carry 5 lanes of traffic and weighs as much as a fully loaded 747. Crews have to lift it 15 stories above the water.
What's so amazing about the way you're building this is that although we're talking about a 10, 15-year construction window, the Bay Bridge is going to grow today. The morning commuters to San Francisco and Oakland are going to see that bridge extend for the first time on the west side.
Today's the first time they'll get to see it.
Do you ever see that? People are driving, they're like, oh my God.
I think they do that every day. We're probably a distraction to the morning commute, but you know, we're the kind of distraction the people of San Francisco want because they want this bridge. Its first 80 feet will be up there by lunchtime today.
The team has to move quickly to finish the lift,
Going up?
because the segment needs to be at full height during high tide. The crane relies on that extra 3 feet of water to get the piece into place,
Are they rigging?
They're getting ready to.
which means this lift has got to be done before the tide goes back down in just 4 hours.
All right, so the left coast lifter is now connected at 6 points to the bridge segment on which I'm standing. 5 separate lanes of traffic. We're gonna pick the piece up, put it in the air, push it into position, and land it right up there.
Coming up, Dan. You guys get out of there.
So essentially, now that the 6 pieces are connected, you're gonna talk to the crane operator
Right.
and begin the lift.
That's a pretty good sight. It's 1,200 tons dangling in the air. Hopefully the wind will calm down and everything will be good.
And all before lunch.
Right.
You gotta get on.
Got to get off.
Coming up.
You guys can't be up here.
All right, Ed's happy with the position. We're gonna get off this thing because in about
See you guys over there.
2 minutes time, this piece of highway is going up.
Holding on the northwest, Ed.
Thanks, Mike. Okay, ready to come up. Okay, Ryan, let's boom up.
All right, you're part way up, Dan. All right, you're floating.
All stop.
All
10-4. What was your ultimate weight there?
1230.
Copy that.
All right, so levels look good?
Yes. We'll go back to the load up, boom up.
Load up, boom.
That's enormous. You don't often see a chunk of a bridge, 5 lanes of traffic, floating over your head.
The crane lifts the piece at about 5 feet per minute.
Kevin will get a few turns.
And how's it looking?
Pretty good.
It takes a half hour to reach the height of the bridge deck, where another crew waits to begin the most dangerous part of the lift.
All right, so the piece is now up. It's about 150 feet in the air. I'm gonna go hop on a crew boat, go across the bay, up, and land it.
Coming up, landing more than 2 million pounds of steel
Oh, it's coming down. Okay, it's coming down. We gotta get up.
right on top of our heads. And later,
I'm standing atop a cable on one of the most beautiful bridges in the world. And I'm gonna do something a little bit ridiculous.
crews are lifting a 1,000-ton road segment, 150 feet to the height of the New Bay Bridge, an earthquake-resistant self-anchored suspension span.
Sign off here?
Yeah.
Look at that. That is what it's about. So from here on in, no more handrails.
The team now faces the most difficult part of the lift, safely landing the segment. The massive piece of steel that will hold 5 lanes of traffic has got to be lowered onto the support structure with a margin of error that's less than 1/10 of an inch.
Okay, I'm standing on top of the cradle, which is the temporary structure on which that 1,000 metric ton piece of bridge is about to land. And if you look closely, you can see it's coming towards us. So we're at the right height, bringing the piece up over the temporary steel. Oh, he's got hands on it. Look, he's got hands on it. Wow. Look at this. The piece is now floating over my head into position, and the left coast lifter has to push it about another 20 feet, and we're there. My God, this is like landing a spacecraft on top of your head.
The team lowers the segment onto 8 landing pads. If the weight is not evenly distributed on each pad, it could damage the steel segment. So they covered them with a high-strength protective coating they call gouache.
It's just eyeball. You don't have to get it.
It gets applied at the very last minute to keep from hardening too soon, meaning the crews actually climb underneath the 2 million pound segment.
So, Bill, let's just be very upfront about the situation. There's something over our heads right now.
Yeah, that's correct.
The goal is to move as quickly as possible so we can get out of the way of the load and drop it down in these 8 points.
That's absolutely right.
Okay, so talk to me about this gouache. Talk to me about this, like...
This is a 2-part epoxy grout, and what we're trying to do is distribute the weight evenly so there's 100% contact between the plate and the bottom of the steel while it's resting on these cradles.
So if there's any mistakes in the steel, it'll get taken up by this lovely, smooth, fast-acting gouache.
That's correct.
So why do you call it gouache?
Gouache is just a nickname we gave it because it's the best way to describe the sound the material makes when it gets displaced under the heavy load. We couldn't spell.
there is no... How does one spell?
Exactly.
Because I thought you named it gouache because it's kind of gouchy.
It is also kind of gouache.
It's kind of
We
gouache.
kind of like it.
Look at that face, Bill. You know what's great about you is that you're able to have a sense of humor with that over top your head.
With all 8 landing pads safely covered in gouache,
Oh, it's coming down. Okay, it's coming down. We gotta get off.
the crane lowers the segment the final few inches onto the cradle, completing this lift.
The weight of the over 1,000 metric ton segment has been transferred from the crane down to the cradle. The rods are up, the piece is landed, which means they have, at long last, taken this first westbound road deck and put it into its final location. And in doing that, they've extended this new connection between San Francisco and Oakland by 84 more feet.
The incredible new self-anchored suspension bridge will be a dramatic addition to the San Francisco skyline. The look of the bridge takes its cue from its other iconic neighbors.
San Francisco is known for its beautiful bridges. In fact, the Golden Gate Bridge is probably the most famous bridge in the world. So when they decided to make a new east span for the Bay Bridge, it wasn't enough to get some steel and span across the bay. They had to develop a signature span that could stand up to competition like that. You know, Marwan, as an engineer, you're faced with a challenge of creating a span that goes over water that can survive an earthquake. But if you're an engineer in the Bay Area, you're also tasked with making a bridge that becomes an icon.
That's right.
Citizens felt that the Bay Area deserved better, and a signature span of similar magnitude to what the Golden Gate offers. It's a daunting challenge.
Because people here in the Bay Area take the swoop of those cables very seriously.
That's right.
And so the idea is, as you come out of that tunnel leaving the West Span, seeing those iconic swooping cables, the second you drive out, you see them again.
You see them again, and you see them dying down, and then you've got the Berkeley Hills in front of you, so it just tells a beautiful story.
This will be the first time that the design of the East Span matches the rest of the bridge. With the new self-anchored suspension span, the look of the cables will continue across the bay to fit seamlessly with the West Span. This double suspension bridge has been a Bay Area icon for almost 75 years, thanks to its 4 miles of swooping cables. They're dramatically lit every night with more than 1,200 bulbs, known as the String of Pearls. Keeping these signature lights shining bright is one of the most difficult jobs on the entire bridge.
Today, I'm gonna do something that I never thought I'd do. I'm gonna get onto the cable of the Bay Bridge, walk up that cable to change a light bulb. All right, ready?
Crews have to swap these light bulbs out once every month.
Oh my gosh.
All without stopping traffic on the 3rd busiest bridge in the world.
Russell, tell me what's gonna happen right now.
We're gonna block traffic, we're gonna get off, jump out of the van, and then we're gonna head on up to the cable.
Wait a minute. We're going to the upper deck. Traffic is not stopped. We're going to get out of this van, jump over the side of the bridge, and then climb the cable?
Yes, you all just have to do is follow me. It's gonna be fun.
The light we're changing is located at the top of the first section of the cable. Now to reach it, we'll be climbing towards San Francisco, nearly 500 feet above the water.
All right, so here we are on the bridge right now. We're getting off?
Yep, getting off.
All right, here we go, here we go. Go, 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 go. Go, we gotta go, we gotta move. All right. This is ridiculous. Now, before we do this, I just want to point something out. Because of the obscenity of what we're about to do and the kind of difficulty it will be to film it, barring having 3 or 4 helicopters, we've come up with this. It's not sexy. It may not be cool, I'm prepared to admit that, but it will give us a view of this thing that I think we could not have gotten otherwise. So, Russell, what do you think?
I like it.
It's cool, right?
Yep.
The kids at home are gonna love it.
You bet they will.
You bet they will. There it is. Pardon the fact that I'm gonna look a bit like an elephant. Okay. So, you stay with me. You stay with me, too.
You're gonna follow what I do.
Russell, I will follow everything you do. Okay. A couple of things to point out as we begin our journey together on the cable walk. Number one, I'm walking on a cable. Not the widest surface in the world. It's a cylinder. That's awkward. Secondly, also important to point out, to my left, that's the water. To my right, that's a Mack truck. Oh boy.
This cable is only 28 inches in diameter.
Coming through, Russell, crossing the threshold.
Don't hit your head.
That's about as wide as a stepladder, but not 1 inch of the surface is flat.
I mean, as you put your 1 foot down, you feel the curvature of the cylinder. I mean, you don't have a single stable surface to put your feet down on. And I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it out loud. This is one of the craziest things I've ever done in my entire life. Whoa, oh my goodness. It moves a little bit, doesn't it?
What?
It moves.
Yep, it's the traffic.
Traffic's really moving the cable.
Mm-hmm, moving the whole bridge.
Well, that's a good thing, right?
Right.
All right, let's keep moving. Come here.
Suspension bridges are designed to move in the event of an earthquake.
Oh my God. Russell, that's a shaky moment there, huh?
Yep.
Man, this bridge moves.
The cable we're walking on can sway up to 3 feet.
1 foot in front of the other. Just a big old balance beam, right?
Yep. Only about 200 more feet.
200 more feet. Dear God. You know what's also sort of amazing about this? This incredible journey, this ridiculously hard path in the service of that. This tiny little light bulb, the famous string of pearls that give this bridge its night signature, well, this is what it takes to maintain it, unfortunately.